Yeah, the three main types of interviews in a radio newscast are informational, interpretive, and emotional. So now let us see one by one. The first one is informational interviews. So informational interviews are done mainly to reveal facts or opinions. So informational interviews are mainly done to reveal facts or opinions. This, for example, the interviewer might ask question like this: how many ambulances are off the road because of a maintenance problem? Which way do you, as an MLA, intend to vote tonight in the crucial vote on accounts? So these are the questions raised by the interviewer to an member of assembly. Why weren't the main roads in another example? Why weren't the main roads in Idiki gritted before 2 days? Before 2 days, 2 days landslide. So questions starting with who, what, where, why, when, and how elicit answers other than just yes or no. So the interviewer should be very careful in framing such questions. So if you ask a simple questions like, do you know, are you aware of this thing? So if when you ask such questions, it's very simple for the listener, and they might give answers in either yes or no. So ask more open questions than close ended questions. That is very important. That comes under informational interview. Ask more open questions than close ended questions. So, open questions will make the listener to think and give an elaborate answer on the question. So, questions like I have given. Questions like which I read out now. How many ambulances are off the road because of a maintenance problem? So for this particular question, they cannot give a answer like yes or no. So they have to provide the exact number, because the question is how many ambulances are off the road because of a maintenance problem. So being an MLA, we expect the person, the politician, to give an exact accurate number to this question. So the interviewer must ask such questions. And the subject of the interview in an interpretative sorry second is interpretative interview. The subject of the interview in an interpretative interview needs to interpret, analyze some facts which are already known. So this is the difference. So here informational interview is to get information from any person. We are the questions were framed or asked in such a way. This is interpretive interview. So the subject of the interview is in an interpretative interview needs to interpret, analyze some facts which are already known. So we expect the subject might be an MLA, to interpret and analyze some facts which are already known to the public. So the expert is being asked to look into the future and sketch the probabilities, usually based on knowledge of what has happened in similar circumstances before. Understand? So this is interpretative interview. Next is emotional interview. See, the emotional interview is it's by for the cost tricky type. So good reporting covers all shades and colors of human emotional experiences. So there is the happiness of the sporting record breaker, and also the anxiety of a mother whose child is missing, the anger of a man who has been attacked and robbed. In an emotional interview, a certain amount of silence is more telling than any words. So, as the subject passes to gather his or her thoughts, perhaps in the midst of mental turmoil, the silence also communicate a lot. Journalists are sometimes they are criticized for exploiting the emotions of others who may be in trouble or despair. So it has been said that people suffering in a one way can find relief in recounting their feelings. For example, after this flight accident, there is rarely a shortage of survivors who are anxious to tell their stories. So when